The Ottawa Senators have waived both Lassi Thomson and Jacob Bernard Docker, both of whom were recent first-round picks. How can you mess up that bad in terms of asset management? So obviously the Senators did waive these two first-round picks. I believe JBD went 26th overall in 2018. Lassi Thomson went 19th overall in 2019. Both defensemen, both right-handed defensemen, I believe. And yeah, they're on waivers. Lassi Thomson obviously got picked up by the Anaheim Ducks. I think it's a very good move for the Anaheim Ducks. Their blue line's absolute garbage. So why not bring in Lassi Thomson, a guy that had 33 points in, I believe, 56 AHL games last year? It's a solid grab. Why not? He's still only 23. But when looking at this from the Ottawa Senators perspective, and JBD is probably going to get picked up, I'd assume some rebuilding team might as well take a shot on him, but I think Lassi Thomson definitely was more appealing. But when looking at this from the Ottawa Senators, it's without a doubt bad asset management. Do I think that this is like a fireable offense for Pierre Dorion? This is the worst thing ever. Those guys are going to end up becoming all-world defensemen. I do think people are overreacting to this to a degree, but from a negative perspective, the Ottawa Senators badly need depth. They need depth. They need defenseman depth. This is their defensive lines right now. Whoops. This is their defensive lines right now. And it's pretty solid. Right now, I don't think JBD or Lassi Thomson would crack those. So I understand why they got sent down. They're not as good as even Travis Hamonic right now, in my opinion. I'd rather have Travis Hamonic over those unproven guys. But to lose them, to sign JBD to that one-way deal, I don't know why he got signed to a one-way deal and then have to send them through waivers, and just to lose Lassi Thomson as well, it's unacceptable, because as soon as one of these guys go down, you're going to have to bring in probably like Tyler Clevin, who's a year or two younger than JBD or Lassi Thomson. They don't have the depth right now. I agree that if they are healthy, yeah, those guys, it's not the end of the world. They're probably not going to be all-world defenders, but the Ottawa Senators are one injury away, one Shabbat, one Chikrin from going from a solid blue line to now absolutely, if you switch out one of these top three guys for one of their depth pieces now, it's going to be a massive drop-off. But overall, with these guys, do I think they are all-world talents? You look at Lassi Thomson, he had a pretty solid year in the AHL, 33 points in 56 games, 26 and 44 before that. 10 goals. Wow. And JBD was solid in North Dakota. Belleville, he's more of a defensive defenseman. But I think there is a sunk cost fallacy with these two guys. Yes, they are first-round picks, but they clearly weren't trending towards illustrious NHL careers. So I do think people are kind of overreacting just because they see first-round picks. For me, this is more of a development mess up by the Ottawa Senators. The fact that by their fifth and fourth pro seasons, they're not ready for the NHL is kind of a massive mistake by the Ottawa Senators, because the Ottawa Senators hit on like their top 5 picks, Kachuk, Stützle, Anderson, but their record beyond that, obviously they traded for Norris. Batherson was a late pick, but they have not been able to develop a lot of their mid to late first round picks. Thomson, JBD, Bouchard. Yeah, Bouchard looks like Bouchard. Why am I botching on that? But Tyler Boucher. I don't know. I botched on that name. Cut that out. But he has not. They really have not panned out in terms of some of their mid to late first round picks. The development has not been there. So I think people are definitely overreacting just because they are first round picks and just because it is the Ottawa Senators. But at the end of the day, Pierre Dorion has to do a better job, has to not give Travis Hamonic a goddamn no movement clause in order to keep those kind of young guys that maybe could develop into bottom pair guys. I don't think any of those guys are going to turn into legitimate top 4 defensemen, but just to have them in your depth pieces, it's massive in the NHL nowadays. People get hurt all the time. Shabbat gets hurt all the time. Chikrin has not really been able to stay healthy throughout his career. So the fact that they might be turning to like Tyler Clevin come game 15 because of an injury, it's definitely scary for the Ottawa Senators. So it stinks. Maybe JBD won't get picked up. And the fact that they weren't able to at least trade for a 5th or 6th round pick for one of those guys, especially Lassi Thomson, who had the AHL stats, that makes no sense for me. And if I was like a San Jose Sharks, I would just toss a 5th, 6th. I guess they waited for waivers. Anaheim, top of the page because they had the worst record in the NHL. So I guess every team probably put in a claim for Lassi Thomson.